Dude, I started watching the new Selena series on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
And one of the little girls looks like Janessa, like Crystal's oldest. I was like, little Selena looks like Janessa. And I'd like text her mom and I was like, are you watching the show yet? And she's like, no, but I will. And it's pretty good. The dad, Selena's dad, is what was his name from Desperate Housewives?
Carlos.
Yeah. And they kind of made it a little comedic because it is a series, but like he just always is pushing for his kids. He wants the best for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so like their song is a hit on the radio. He's like, oh my God, Dad, our song's on the radio. He's like, so a bunch of people are one-hit wonders. Show me another one. Damn. But whoever that actor is, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, his name was Carlos on Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, he plays a good dad.
Well, okay, so in the movie, Edward Jason Olmos was the dad. So is he balding? Does he have like glasses and like, does he look?
He has glasses. He's not balding, but he's just like pushing for these kids and this career and this band and hustling them on gigs. And, you know, Selena's in high school and like building, you know, creating their costumes and, you know, stuff like that. But I don't know if this is true or not. And I'm so judgy and I hate this about myself. But I was just like, what did that chick do to her booty? Because she's so wide and she's so skinny.
The girl in the movie?
The girl in the movie that plays Selena. Yeah. I'm like, what's up with the butt?
They have pads that they put on.
Well, she looks real wide in the hips. That's it. That's all I got to say. And having her play like a teenager, it's just like, okay, teenagers' bodies aren't like that. Stop it. It's off-putting. It's off-putting.
Yeah. Well, Selena was very curvy.
I know. I get it. But I'm just saying, I'm going to see what the actress's name is right now because I just need to know. Because I've seen her in stuff before. Okay. Her name is Christian Serratos. And then his name is Ricardo Antonio Chavira. The dad, who was Carlos on Desperate Housewives. He's talented. He plays a good hater, but it's still like he's always hustling though. Like it's funny.
He plays a good hater.
He's like, so write another song. A lot of people got one-hit wonders.
There's a lot of one-hit wonders out there. That's a fact.
That's what he said. What was this chick in though before? I've seen her and stuff. She was in The Walking Dead. No, We Are the Walking Dead. Oh, she was in Twilight, Breaking Dawn.
I didn't watch that shit. Sorry, I'm a hater. I didn't watch fucking Twilight.
She played Angela in the Twilight movies.
Don't know who that is.
Oh, she was the nerdy friend. She was a nerdy friend.
Okay. You're yelling.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, look at her. Go ahead, girl. This is who she played on The Walking Dead, the girl with the hat and the pigtails. Remember her? That's from the original Walking Dead.
That's Rosita.
Yeah. Because I was like, I've seen her.
Okay, so she's Rosita.
Yeah. But look at the booty.
Yeah, she didn't have a butt like that on Walking Dead. She wasn't wide. Like, she didn't have wide hips on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So they put pads on her.
Okay. I just have to say it because I noticed it. Anyway, Brandi, how was your week? What you watching this week?
How was my week?
I didn't see you at all this week, by the way. You smashed NaNoWriMo and then we don't hear from you?
Well, first of all, I was at Mom's house on Wednesday, but I wrote just like a little bit. Like, I think I wrote like maybe 400 words this week or last week because I was like, let me give my brain a break from like trying to hustle out all these fucking words. So I've been doing what they call replenishing my creative cup.
Oh, okay. Replenish the cup, sister.
Or refilling my cup. I watched these two movies. Well, actually, I watched a bunch of movies, but the two movies that like I'm like would recommend to people to watch are Uncle Frank on Amazon and Wade in the Water on Amazon. Wade in the Water. Uncle Frank stars Paul Bettany and what's her name? Lillis. I think her last name is Lillis. The redheaded girl that was in it. The little girl.
I didn't watch the new It.
She's been in so many other things. She was in Gretel and Hansel on Hulu. Did you watch that? It's a horror movie.
Nope.
Hansel and Gretel horror movie. It's really good.
You're so excited about that.
She's been in a whole bunch of stuff this recently. Oh, she was in did you watch that show with Amy Adams that was on HBO about the fucking serial killer?
When she's a super drunk, she drinks his vodka all day or whatever. I know what you're talking about.
Well, she was in that. She was Amy Adams at a younger age.
Oh, okay.
Her last name is Lillis. Well, whatever. But it's really good. Uncle Frank, it's really good. And Paul Bettany is Uncle Frank. And he plays a gay man in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
And she's his niece. And she, basically he is her, favorite uncle. And he encourages her to go to college outside of her town. Is it
Sophia Lillis?
Yes, that's her name. So that was good. And then Wade in the Water is one of those movies because you've never heard of it.
No.
But it won all these awards, all these independent film awards. And it's a really good movie with people that you've never seen before.
Okay.
And basically it's about this guy who's he works from home. He's obese and he gets a package in the mail that it was put in the wrong P.O. box. And he gets it, and it's something real bad in the package. Ooh. And so then he does some things because of this package, but it's really good. It's really good, and it's not a scary movie, so you don't have to be what's gonna happen?
I'm scared.
It's really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again, and I definitely would recommend for people to watch it. So, for your reference, get on that shit because it's amazing.
Oh,
it's a really good movie because there are actors in it that you've never seen before, and it's a movie that you've never heard of, but it's a really good fucking movie. It's one of those hidden gems on Amazon. And then I watched a bullshit movie that was crap. And I was like, of course, they can't all be winners.
Please tell me the one that was crap.
Oh, I watched this fucked up movie with Keanu Reeves called Knock Knock. And it's about these two bitches that they come to his house. It's did you watch Funny Games? You said you didn't watch it. It's basically it's by Eli Roth, so it's fucked up anyway because Eli Roth only does fucked up movies. But these two chicks show up on his doorstep. They basically seduce him, and then they try to kill him. And they call him a pedophile, and they make him feel bad, even though they're fucking adults. They're gross. The bitches are gross. And they basically try to ruin his life. Yeah, Keanu Reeves. And it came out in 2018. And I was no wonder I'd never heard of this movie because it's fucked up. And
yeah, it's
Eli Roth. His movies, they're all fucking dark, fucked up movies. I like horror movies, but he pushes the shit to the extreme.
Oh yeah, this fucking guy. The what they call him in Inglourious Bastards, the something.
Yeah, he was the one with the bat.
The Jew with the bat. What was he? I
don't know what they called him. I don't remember. But he looked crazy in that.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy.
He actually does the during October. He does an
erotic thriller. That's what they called Knock Knock, an erotic thriller.
It's not an erotic thriller. It's just a fucked up movie. It's fucked up. Those bitches ruin that man's house, and they try to ruin his life. They kill somebody. It's a fucked up movie all around. It's just fucked up.
So that's how your week was of watching?
I was watching a bunch of movies. That was actually on Friday, I think. I watched a bunch of movies on Friday. And then I binge watched Sabrina season 2 yesterday.
I'm for it. I think I might watch it again as well.
And so season 3 is next. But that was it. How was your week? Yeah, how was your week?
My week was good. It was busy. I have been making a lot of dog biscuits, so keep it up. Yay, Beauty's biscuits. Burp, 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 burp. Christmas cookies. Burp, 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 burp. Honestly, just been working. I'm trying to do a lot of self-reflection and asking myself deeper questions to
like what? Where did we start this? Where did this come from? What was the motivation?
I signed up for this 31-day December challenge for self-reflection and dreaming bigger and thinking bigger. And someone slid into my DM on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did this Zoom meeting or whatever on Monday with a bunch of people. And I knew one of the guys, and that's kind of how she got me involved, because I know the guy. He's like this vegan bodybuilder, and he's like super fit, and he's like 51, and he has a very nice body.
And he's not
like
Tony Horton.
No, and he's like a model of some sort or whatever.
Okay.
So he's become a big deal in the vegan community. But I knew him before he was in the vegan community and like crushing it. And he's just got all these followers now. And so she was like, hey, I've been working with this person, and we're doing this workshop. And it's like a pay what you can scale. And, for kind of like life coaching and inter-reflection and just, whatever, that type of thing. So I got into it. I did the first session. I felt good. And I did like a one-on-one session with her. And I was like, oh my God, I think I have a life coach. But I've just been trying to meditate more. And
so you've been meditating, because I remember you're like, I don't know how to meditate. And
yeah,
I was
exactly.
Like, what the hell are you talking about?
I know it's silly. So yes, she's challenged me to meditate. So I've been doing that. I've been trying to make sure I stay hydrated. I've been trying to like get in physical activity.
Oh, is that why you're thinking you said drink water, exercise?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and then just kind of go beyond that. And I've been journaling and, writing down what I want to do. Because one question was like, if money didn't exist, what would you do?
Okay. I like that question, because a lot of times that's what like people focus on is money. Mm-hmm. Like, even though like, you're like, I'm doing these things, I'm trying to make a better this, or I'm trying to do this. Most of the time it's something that has to do with making money.
Right.
Or it costs money,
mm-hmm.
or, so yeah.
Yeah. So that was the question that I've been asking everybody. It's like, if money didn't exist, what would you do?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I would garden a lot more. I would get my farm going, and I would rescue animals. Like, I think I would want to start a rescue, like for dogs or even chickens,
A chicken rescue? What's a chicken rescue?
Maybe like, I don't know, if they're like, hey, this rooster's got to die, or this chicken's got to die. It needs a place to go.
You should like during the fires when they need places to adopt or
provide shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that would be a wonderful thing. And I would definitely do that. I just feel like I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, I have a full-time job that I have to maintain, and
I have shit to do.
And it's just like asking yourself these questions, like, for Beauty's Biscuits, like, what does it need to be at for you to make it sustainable? Ask yourself these questions, and you have to dig deeper and go beyond it.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that this week. So I feel good. And I'm just asking myself harder questions, and maybe I'm evolving into a butterfly. I don't know.
A moth.
It's
a moth.
Hey, guys, welcome to Book of Life podcast. I'm Sunni Hepburn.
And I'm Brandi Fleeks.
And this is Book of Lives, the podcast. So, hey guys, thanks for tuning in, listeners, new listeners, old listeners, any listener. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. And leave us a review, please. We still have that really horrible review sitting at the top of the reviews.
Which review? That idiot about, interviews.
Yeah, that one. Whatever. So leave us a review, please, if you like what you hear. If you feel so inclined to grace us with your time, we would love that for you to leave us a review. You can connect with us on social, on Twitter at Book of Lives Pod, on Instagram and Facebook at Book of Lives Podcast. You can also visit our website at bookoflivespodcast.com, where you could listen to all of our previous episodes. You can check out our collaborations page with some of our podcast pals out there, and our blog. So check that out. And guys, this is it. We need to get your audio in now. So if you want to be a part of the podcast, if you want to be a part of history for our 100th episode coming up, this is your last opportunity. So if you want to just leave a voice note on your phone and email it to us, you could do that and just say, hey guys, I love listening to you. You don't have to say that if it's not true. But if you do, say it and send it in. And then we'll add you to the podcast. So you could leave a voice note on your phone and email it to bookoflivespodcast@gmail.com. And I will go ahead and get that into the mix.
In the mix?
Yes, in the mix. Other than that, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for joining us. And Brandi.
Hold on a second.
Have you heard about these Trump kids asking for
pardons? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what the fuck is that?
because they know they fucking committed crimes and they don't want to go to prison. So they're asking for preemptive pardons, meaning that if charges should be brought against them, they would be pardoned automatically. They're fuck faces. And
they knew
think
they was
special.
up to some bullshit, huh? Oh my God. Like someone sent me like a meme and I was like, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
And he was like, yeah, so they're asking for
preemptive pardons.
Yeah, because this is gossip, guys. This is the gossip I got. I didn't look this up. But what I heard is the New York Times is reporting that Ivanka was in a deposition.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she claimed $750,000 of consultant work from her dad's businesses and then double dipped it and removed it from her taxes or something.
They are corrupt. They're a crime family, and we're going to do an episode on them. Or she said, I'm going to do an episode on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're corrupt. They are literally like a mini mafia, a little mafia family. Mm-hmm. That's what they fucking are. They're fucking losers. All right, anyway. What was the question?
Brandi, what are we talking about?
We are today talking about some weird-ass story that, unfortunately, I had not heard of until just recently. We're going to talk about the hipster grifter.
Hipster grifter?
Kari Ferrell.
Ooh.
Yeah. So.
Love a good grifter story.
Before there was the Soho grifter, there was the hipster grifter. An adopted Korean high school dropout from Salt Lake City, Utah, with a giant tattoo of a phoenix on her chest and a tattoo that says, I love beards on her back.
Beards?
Beards. She loves beards. She was born in February 1987, and her name is Kari Ferrell. Her parents adopted her from Korea, and at some point they divorced, and when she was a teenager, her mother remarried and moved to Arizona. So she lived with her dad in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
In 2004, she was 17 years old. She was hanging around in the straight edge, scene, and she was hanging out on MySpace a lot.
If you guys don't know what the straight edge scene is, it's people who don't fucking party. They don't drink. They don't do drugs. But they're like, they look like hipsters.
They party,
beards and stuff.
Well, straight edgers don't look like hipsters. Straight edgers look like metalheads, but they don't drink or do drugs.
Right.
They look like metalheads and goth kids.
Right.
So that's where she was, and on MySpace in 2004. At the time, she had met a guy named Casey Hansen, and they soon became a couple.
Mm-hmm.
She was 17 and he was 20, but she lied about her age and said she was 18. He didn't mind that she was 17, but she lied and said she was 18. Even when he saw her license and saw her age, she still lied to him about it. She told him that she was 18 and that she had just graduated from high school. When he, was like, hey, I know you're 17. She's like, oh no, I was adopted from Korea. So there's something messed up on my birth certificate. So it says I'm 17, but I'm actually 18.
I feel 18.
Even her father was like, no, she's 17.
Bitch, stop lying.
And she just continued the lie throughout the relationship that she was a year older, I guess.
It's stupid.
It's a really dumb lie.
I lie down online. And by that, I mean, anytime, this is how I think I've, diverted identity thieves. Anytime I sign up for something online, I use a different birthday.
I put that I'm 99. That way I don't get those ads.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. I should give myself 100 years. But I always use a different birthday. And it's like, good luck, bitch. Keep trying. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So in 2005, she moved to her mom's house in Arizona, but she came back to Salt Lake City within 3 months. 3 months later, she was back. And then in April, she moved in with some straight edge kids. And that's when she just started full blown, just being a liar. She was telling them that she was getting threatening text messages from phone numbers that she didn't know, text messages that said shit like, I'm going to rape you to death and things of that nature.
Why?
And then she told them that she knew who they were coming from. And she said it was from some local guy. So her and her roommates went and vandalized his house and his car, his family's house and cars. They busted windows and slashed tires.
I bust the windows out your car.
Right.
Who was this person?
It was her.
No.
The guy, they don't say who it was. She said it was a local dude. And they just went and attacked somebody's car and house.
Because he was sending her these messages.
Because she said he was sending her these messages. Turned out it was just her sending messages to herself.
Yeah.
And Casey, her boyfriend, he was like, you know, I realize now it was her sending herself the messages. And that he thinks that she just wanted validation that people cared about her. Mm. So during that summer, she ended up moving in with him because they weren't paying rent at the house that her and the straight edge kids were living at. They weren't fucking paying rent and they got evicted. So she moves in with Casey.
Dicks who don't pay rent.
Yeah. She moves in with Casey. At the time she's working at a kennel. She ended up boarding her dog at the kennel because I guess to move in with Casey meant that she couldn't have the dog. Well, the kennel that she was working at ended up suing her for $1,201 because I don't know, either she left the dog and didn't pay. Maybe she left her dog and abandoned her job. I don't know what the circumstances was. It just says that they ended up filing suit against her. But for some reason, she always had money. He said she started acting like a sugar mama with him. She didn't want him to go to work. And she was always like, she always had money somehow.
Okay.
She said, apparently the bank called her and said, or wrote her a letter or she got some sort of notification that somebody had tried to cash a check that was written in her name. Mm-hmm. So she called the police and said that it was one of her former roommates that had tried to basically pass off this check. And so, you know, they flagged her accounts for fraud. Mm-hmm. Well, a couple of months pass. And she tells Casey that now she has access to the money that she didn't have access to before from her bank account from that fraud.
Okay.
And now she's starting to get all these checks. Like she's starting to write checks to him saying, my ATM card doesn't work. So I need you to cash these checks for me and give me the cash.
Oh my God. Casey, don't be so dumb.
Yeah, so he starts cashing checks for her with his bank account. And, you know, her ATM card didn't work for some reason, right? So she would write him checks for like $300, $500, $1,200, and he would cash it. And at one point he asked the bank, hey, are these good? Because you guys are giving me cash, so they must be good, right? And the teller was like, yeah, they're fine. Well, come to find out that the checks that he was getting from her were from a bank account that wasn't open.
Yeah, I was thinking from a closed bank account.
Yeah, it was from a fucking closed bank account, and the bank finally caught up to it by that time. And this was over a week's time span. He had cashed $10,600 in checks for her.
He's a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, Casey. I don't know you, bruh, but fuck that shit. Over a week? Why do you need that much cash?
1 week's worth of, he was just cashing checks.
Why do you need that much cash?
He said that this was a low point in his life.
Was he high? Like what?
Well, he was in a band. He was in a band.
Okay.
And he was young and she was his first girlfriend.
And he had a sugar mama and she was
basically, yeah, she didn't want him to like fucking, you know, she was like trying to cling to him. And so she was like, here's some money, go do stuff, you know, whatever, buy stuff, whatever. So she was trying to basically keep him in her sights, I guess. I don't know. But it was $10,600 worth of fucking checks that he had cashed on a bad account. And you know, the bank was like, you need to give us all that money back. And meanwhile, he's probably...
Plus we charge him bounce check fees, bitch.
Okay, for real. For real. And overdraft fees.
Oh, overdraft fee, negative check fee, over $1,000 fee. Fees up the asshole.
Yeah. So she would also lie about little things. Like one night they had sex and she went downstairs and then he came downstairs and she's sitting there with her fucking phone in her hand crying. And she's like, you're cheating on me. Somebody sent me pictures of you with your ex-girlfriend.
Let me see them.
He's never had a girlfriend. She's his first fucking girlfriend.
Yeah.
He doesn't have pictures with girls. So what the fuck's she talking about?
Prove it.
She's just making stuff up now, right?
She's trying to start trauma.
Right. So she went on tour with him with his band. And at some point she tells him, hey, that guy over there was hitting on me. He almost gets into a fight because she's like, oh, he was hitting on me. And that was a lie. So she's like starting shit. And that reminds me, you didn't watch Rescue Me?
No.
Tatum O'Neal is in it, and she plays Tommy's sister. Tommy is Dennis Leary's character. And she's crazy. And so like she tries to get her fiance, his name is Mike, she tries to get him to fight. So like random dudes walking down the street like, hey, did you hear what he said to me? Even though the guy didn't say anything. Yeah. He called me a fucking bitch. He said I was a slut. He said I was this, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, just try to get him to fight people. You don't love me? You don't love me? You're not gonna defend my honor? Like that kind of shit. And he was like, she's crazy. You need to get out of this. Tommy's telling this to, Mike, you need to get out of this relationship. He's crazy.
These bitches is wild.
Okay, so he caught on to her bullshit and he tried to break up with her. When he tried to do that, she started to make up stories saying that she had cancer. And then she told him that she was being stalked again and that she was getting text messages from, strange numbers, and they would eventually end up getting back together. On his 21st birthday, so apparently both of their birthdays are in February. He turned 21 in 2006. And on his 21st birthday, he was on tour with his band. She texts him telling him that she's pregnant. Then a few days later, she calls him and tells him that she's going to kill herself. So then in October, we jump from February to October here. In October, she got her new roommate. I guess she moved out of Casey's house. I don't know. Gets a new roommate, and somehow she manages to scam him out of $3,000.
Oh my God. With a check?
It doesn't say. And Casey decides he's going to buy a used VW Jetta on a 5-year loan at 20% interest. And Kari's supposed to make the payments.
I'm sorry, what?
She's supposed to make the payments on this used Volkswagen Jetta that he buys at a 5-year loan at 20% interest.
20%?
She is supposed to make the payments on this car.
20% interest is a lot of interest.
Yes, it is. She makes 2 payments. He files for bankruptcy.
That's fucked up. And she took the car, yeah?
The bank took the car.
No, I mean, whose car was it?
He bought the car.
But why is she the one making the payments?
Probably because she was like, I'll make the payments on the car for you, hon.
Okay, because I was like, I'm confused.
Because she's his sugar mama. And she made 2 payments, and then he had to file for bankruptcy.
18-year-old sugar mama. Why does she even want to play this game? Where is she learning all this stuff from? Because she's 18, right?
Listen, it gets weirder. It gets really fucking weird, okay? This is a weird story, because I was like, what the fuck is going on in this bitch's head?
Okay.
And we'll find out.
Okay.
So, she goes to fucking jail.
Oh, wait. Check fraud?
Over this fucking car shit. Then February 2008, the day after that she turns 21, she goes to fucking jail. And she served 3 months in fucking Utah jail. She comes out of jail and starts dating a guy named Brian McWhinney. She knows him apparently through his former roommate, who she used to date.
Y'all need to stop dating the same bitches, first of all.
He dates her, and for a few months, she takes this fucking guy on a wild ride. So he said that he looked past the fraud because he knew about her jail time. He said he looked past it because she did the time, and she told him that she got out early because the reason that she went to jail was because this debt thing that went on was her ex-boyfriend's issue, and that she took the rap for him, but then he stepped up and was like, hey, this is my deal. So she got out. That's not how the legal system actually works, but that's what happened, according to her. But now, when he did this interview, oh, by the way, so my sources on this are from...
Because I had a question. I was wondering what the sources were.
Observer.com, The Daily Beast, Gothamist, Nylon.com, Page6.com, her fucking Twitter from jail, Animal New York, and KSL.com, which is, I guess, a news channel in Utah.
Her Twitter from jail? She got jail Twitter?
Girl, yes. We're going to get there. Okay, we're going to get there. She went to jail in February of 2008, the day after she turned 21. She comes out of jail. She marries. She starts dating a guy named Brian Mawhinney, and she tells him that she got out early because her ex-boyfriend, whose debt issues this was, comes in and he's like, yeah, this is my thing. You should release her. Arrest me. I don't know what the whole story, but this is how it's going down in my head. So, they're dating and her parents come to visit and they're like, hey, you owe us money, dude. Like you owe us money.
Her parents?
Yeah. She owes them thousands of dollars.
I bet.
And she's like, oh, but I sent the money via Western Union. Didn't you guys get the money?
Why would you send it to me to Western Union, bitch? Lies.
Well, I guess they're trying to hound Western Union over some money that never was sent. So Western Union's like, okay, cool. We're calling the police.
We gonna call the police.
They call the police in, and she goes to jail for another 2 days because she fucking was trying to defraud Western fucking Union. She goes to jail for 2 days on $5,000 bail. She has $500 on her. So Mr. Brian Mawhinney, her boyfriend, has to post the other freaking $4,500 to get her out of jail.
What a good boyfriend.
Right? She only used cash. Like she probably never had open bank accounts. Mm-hmm. The ATM card that she had that didn't work was probably a fucking non-working ATM because of a fucking closed bank account.
Right.
So she used cash all the time. Mm-hmm. She probably never had any jobs while she was with him, but she told him that she worked for 2 companies. Golden Voice, which is the organizer of like Coachella, Stagecoach, and 24 Ticks, which also does, tickets to concerts and shit like that.
Yeah, kind of like Live Nation.
Right. And that one is based in Salt Lake City, but Golden Voice is not based. They're based in LA. Right. They don't have any fucking locations in Salt Lake City or in Utah. They don't have any fucking locations in New York. Mm-hmm. They don't have any locations other than California from what I could find. Well, she tells him she got those jobs because she had interned with them while she was in college. Meanwhile, she never graduated high school.
You lying bitch.
She told them that she was working for them because, I interned with them, when I was in college and they offered me a job. Mm. So, I can get us tickets to any concert. You want to go to Coachella? I can get us tickets.
Hey,
let's go to the festival. I got tickets. Let's go.
Rihanna's going to be there. Let's go. Wow. What show is she watching that she's getting all this? Like, there's something going on. There's some outside influence.
Well, okay. Remember, she's a petite little Korean girl. Okay. Remember that part.
She a spy? Or what's that?
Remember that. Just remember that. Keep that in the back of your mind.
Okay.
So she tells them that she can get them into the Pitchfork Music Festival that's in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So they're in Salt Lake City. The fucking festival's in Chicago.
Yeah, that's a couple states over. Illinois to Utah is not hop, skip, and a jump.
Right. So they're supposed to go, right? So they all get off work and they go and they pack up their fucking shit. And they're like, fly on over to Chicago, go to this concert. She calls them and she's like, oh, we're delayed. We're delayed. Don't worry. I'll call you when it's time. Hour or two later, we're still delayed. Don't worry. We're going to go to this concert. Another hour or two later, we're still delayed, guys. Don't worry. They never fucking went to the concert. It never happened.
What's the point of this?
She's crazy. Okay, so she basically, they don't end up going. They don't end up going. And in August 2008, she tells him, Brian, that Golden Voice is allowing her to transfer to their New York office. So she's going to move to New York and work for Golden Voice. So she bounces. I guess they break up. Who knows what? But she moves to fucking New York from Salt Lake City. March of 2009, she bamboozles her way into a job at Vice magazine.
Ooh, that's a nice job.
In Williamsburg, Brooklyn. They hire her on the pretense that she worked for Golden Voice. And she's also, you know, really personable. She's bubbly. She's talkative. They like her. She's great. You know, she's got good fucking mouth. She's got good, what do they call it?
Gab.
Good. Yeah, she's got the gift of gab. She's 22 years old at the time. And she had already had a rap sheet in Utah, right? Well, they hire her on the spot. Don't check her fucking references. Don't fucking find out shit about her. Yeah, you're hired. Here you go. So now she's working for Vice. So a guy that works at Vice comes up to her, you know, at her, I guess, comes up to her desk and is like, hey, is your boss in? And he goes, hey, ma'am, is your boss in? And she liked the fact that he said, hey, ma'am. So I guess, you know, I don't know if he was there or what, but like he goes back to his desk and they start fucking having a, you know, inner office chat. She immediately goes into, so how many sexual partners have you had? What's your favorite position? Do you like this? Do you like that? She starts talking to him about sex like immediately.
That's harassment. That's harassment.
He's into it.
I bet he's into it.
But he's like, who is this chick? You know, like, well, yeah, we can have a good time, but let me Google her.
Yes, please.
Googles her. Sees her fucking rap sheet and her wanted poster because the bitch is wanted in Utah. She's wanted in Utah, in Salt Lake City. Sees that and he's like, red flag.
Nope.
He tells her boss, she gets fired.
Sweet.
She works for Vice for about a week.
Apparently they're not doing their background checks now, are there?
She's on the fucking Salt Lake City Police Department's most wanted list. Most wanted. 5 warrants, including passing $60,000 in bad checks, forgery, and retail theft. So she was also fucking stealing shit. So
Utah's most wanted, bitch.
while she was there for that week, though, she did a whole bunch of things.
Oh, at Vice?
While she was working at Vice. So this is what she did. They found out that she was calling clubs saying she wanted to get on their list. And she was from Vice and she was going to review their shows. She fucking contacted HBO and got a package of Flight of the Conchords DVDs to watch. Oh, she had requested them for a review. And she booked a table at a place called The Box for a surprise party, for a surprise birthday party for the publisher of Vice. But when she emailed them, she was like, I'm emailing you from my personal email because we're having server issues. So please don't contact the publisher. It's a surprise.
Why is she so fucking sneaky?
She was trying to get on lists.
That she's trying to climb the status, sounds like.
Yeah. She's trying to basically, she's
make a name for herself, obviously.
Trying to be at all the hot spots. She's trying to, you know, meet people. She's trying to do shit. She's trying to come up. But it didn't work out because she got fucking fired. Because she presented false information. So she also managed to make friends, though. Everywhere she went, she fucking made friends because she was like this magnetic personality. People wanted to be around her. And she was always, you know, like, she was bubbly, you know. She was talkative. And she seemed to be interested in everything that people had to say.
Yeah.
So...
oh my God, yeah, that's crazy. Tell me more.
But again, she was also crazy about the way that she spoke to guys. Because immediately she would come out the box with, I want to suck your dick.
Oh my God.
She wrote notes, like she'd go to bars and write notes to random guys with beards, by the way, hipsters. Bearded dudes with fucking skinny jeans.
That's how she was like, that's why she had a tattoo that says, I like beards.
I love beards, yes.
I love beards. Get it, I got it.
So she would send them notes like, notes that said, I want you to throw your hot dog down my hallway.
Oh.
I want to give you a hand job with my mouth. And she would sign them Korean Abdul-Jabbar. Korean Abdul-Jabbar.
That's gross.
Even women were like, you know, enthralled by her because it like she seemed like a genuine friend to these people. So she she would getting these like relationships, friendships, situationships, as some people say. Entanglements. And these guys, especially, would feel sorry for her. But she started feel sorry for her. They would get involved with her, and then she'd start doing weird stuff.
Lying and making shit up.
Basically, yes. So she'd tell people, and there was a bunch, they talked to so many people. I was like, these are a whole bunch of names. I did not write down the names. I'm just going to say them, they, these people, her friends, because there was a lot of them.
Okay.
She would tell them that she had cancer. She would tell them things like she only had 3 weeks to live, I only have a few months to live. Meanwhile, she'd be going out to clubs, dancing, and smoking weed. She would tell them she had lung cancer, but she'd be smoking weed. If you have lung cancer, you're not smoking anything.
No, you're not. You could eat the weed, you dumb hoe.
This was back in 2009. So
I've eaten weed before 2009.
Yeah, if somebody made brownies, but
yeah, for sure.
They weren't readily available on the market. You had to make the shit yourself.
Yeah, it's just like being a vegetarian, being straight edge, man. You got to cook your own shit. Cook your own.
How could you be straight edge when she was fucking smoking weed?
Can of butter, you lying hoe.
But yeah, so she would be, doing all that. A lot of her friends that, talked to the magazine said she seemed healthy. She seemed fine. Like, but they didn't want to question her about cancer because it's fucking cancer. And you don't question a person who has cancer.
True.
But she would go out with them and be like, I just coughed up blood. Oh, I'm at the hospital. And she would name a hospital. She would text people that she was at one hospital when she would be at another hospital.
Would she even be at a hospital?
Well, she texted these two roommates. She texted one that she was at like Mount Sinai and texted the other one that she was at like, I don't know the names of these hospitals. Like
Ridgecrest.
New York City General or whatever. Like she would just make up things and like they would go to these hospitals and she'd be in the emergency room. She was in a waiting room at one hospital and she was like, her friends showed up and she was like, well, yeah, they did a CT scan on me and they think I might have a tumor that's throwing clots. And that's why I'm, coughing up blood. And then other times she'd be like, they were like, your appendix is a little bit inflamed, but we don't find any cancer on the scans. And she's like, oh, well, that's the type of cancer that shows up on the scan one day and then not on the next day. She would just make up random shit instead of like being like, actually, guys, I don't have cancer.
Actually, guys, I'm a lying bitch and I don't have cancer.
She'd go to hospitals saying that she was a patient there, that she was a regular patient because she was receiving chemo treatments there. They would not have her medical records. And her friends would blow it off and be like, oh, it's just one of those technical things where there's a glitch in the system and your medical records don't show up. That's not how hospitals work, guys. They don't work like that. I've worked in hospitals and that's not how they work.
She's right.
And a lot of times, if they don't show up, it's because the person who's inputting the information did something wrong, not because her records aren't showing up.
And if she was an actual patient at said hospital, the records would be there. If she was going to different places along the fucking state, you would have to call each location to get the record. It's not a pooled source.
But she was like, oh no, I'm treated here at this hospital with, I've been coming to this hospital for chemo treatments for however long.
A lying bitch.
In the chemo clinic or whatever.
You lying.
And
lying,
her friends,
lying,
the ones not knowing much about how the systems work.
How EMR works.
They'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. Hey. It's okay, Kari. You're okay.
You're okay, Kari. Don't worry. Do you want another mimosa?
Yeah, because we have a little bit more to go.
I think we should take a quick break. We should grab a mimosa, and we will be right back.
You're gonna slide in a
promo from our friends. Yeah, check out a promo. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Liz.
Hey, this is Heather.
And we are Nerdy Bitches Podcast,
a show where two geeky ladies podcast their way through pop culture.
From movies and TV to our regular book club and everything in between, we bring you our favorite fandoms with a feminine eye.
We are talking Star Wars, Star Trek, DC Marvel, comic books, and anime.
And don't forget sci-fi, fantasy, action movies, video games, D&D, board games, and so much more.
Be sure to check us out on Apple Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, or wherever you find awesome podcasts.
You can also find us hanging out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and at nerdybitches.com.
See you soon.
And we all back. My mimosa poureth over.
Seriously.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay.
Mimosas.
So while she was partying and smoking and telling people that she had cancer, she was also telling people that her ATM card didn't work.
I'm like, you a broke bitch. Get out of here. I can't help you.
Listen, she managed to like rent apartments and stuff in New York, which is not cheap.
No.
But her ATM card, the one card, never worked. So she would say her ATM card didn't work, that she could only get cash off of it, but she couldn't use it as debit, which still doesn't make fucking sense to me. So whatever.
But it's like, you'll hear something stupid and you're like, this is dumb. I'm not going to turn around and question you about it. Like, you a lying hoe. Because I'm like, that makes no sense, Kari. I've got plenty of bank cards and they ain't never done no shit like that. So let's go ahead and go to your bank and let's go investigate. Because obviously there's a problem.
Investigate. Well, when you're out at the club, I don't think you're doing all that, but okay.
Let me tell you something what happened to me out in the club one time. You were there. Derek Jeter was there. San Francisco.
Oh,
Fluid. Circa, I don't know what year it was.
It was like 2006 or not 8. Yeah, like 2006, 7.
Yeah.
Before I went to Humboldt.
Right. So I was working like my first real like sales job. I was making that money and I was like, I'm going to throw myself a party. I'm going to get the VIP room. Let's get it. Right. That was the first like huge charge on my card ever. I go to pay for the shit. It's like, decline.
Oh, God.
I was like, excuse me, the money is in the bank account.
What they were like, fuck? No, you don't make fucking purchases like this.
You don't spend $1,500 in the club. What? Get your life, ho. So
yeah, the bank was like,
yeah, black, not today. And so I don't know how it happened, but like the collection of people that were there, I like got money from them and they helped. And then I like, cashed them out later. And then my friend KJ, he was like, you should go and tell the bank, you embarrassed me. Is that what he said? He was like, you embarrassed me. Because that's embarrassing when you're like, your card doesn't go through.
Well, yeah, but they do that. Like, if you don't like pull large amounts of money out, or if you don't spend the largest amount of money I ever spent in a at that time.
Yeah.
Because Norman's, his card, I remember I used his card to go, and when we were living in the apartment, I would get the cash to get the money order to pay the rent. They wouldn't give him more than like
$500.
Yeah, something like that. Because I tried to pull out 8, and it was like no. The ATM. I was like, you need to call the bank. No, well, because like on mine, I could do it because that's what I do, but he didn't. That wasn't
I do.
That's not what he did. So they were like, nope. So I had to go inside. Mm-hmm. And like, it was a whole ordeal. And I was just like, why? Like, he had to call them and say, hey, I need to do this. And I was just like,
oh, I get it. I respect the bank.
Yeah.
Like, oh, check this shit out, right? I called the bank this week. That's what I did this week. I was on the phone with the bank because I have my business bank account. I had kept seeing this charge, this $20 charge, this assessment fee. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then I overdrew myself because I'm not getting notifications of being overdrawn or
you have to change that in your bank settings.
I know. And things of that nature. So I called in and I thought I was going to have to like, pull my face off. I didn't have to. She's like, oh, I'll go ahead and refund those 2 assessment fees. Let's just go ahead and move your bank account to this. And I was like, okay, honey, we can do that.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks so much. What about these overdraft fees?
And you fix that too,
right? And she did. She was like, "We'll do it right now, but never again."
Yeah, this is a one-time thing.
That's exactly what she said. Yeah. And I was like, "Thank you so much."
Yeah, they'll do it for you once.
Ask, get on the phone, call. Don't be afraid. Don't let them take that $35 out of your account continuously. Get on the phone and call. If you've never been refunded, call them and they will give you your money. But I was like, "Ooh, I just came up like $100 from fees.
Yeah.
That's how they make their fucking money.
Yes.
And I thought they were fucking me on a fee because that's why I called. Because I was like, this is a back-to-back fee. What is this? And she's like, no. this, that. I was like, see, if I had those alerts, this wouldn't have happened.
But here's what. You had somebody that sounded like they would like their job.
Yeah.
Because I called the fucking EDD office.
Oh, girl, don't call them.
Not the EDD office, the Bank of America EDD card line.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, meh, nyah, 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 nyah. I was like, so I'm trying to log into my account. I haven't logged into this account in a while. I don't remember my password. And she was like, what was your last purchase? I was like, I don't know. I haven't used this like in over a year. Like, what? She's like she sounded like she was mad at her job. And I was just like, this is literally what you're supposed to do.
This is your job.
What, do you not like it? Like, I don't like when people get on the phone and they're mad at me for calling. They're like, your job is to help me.
Is this
Am I bothering you?
Listen. Okay.
Are you on your lunch break? You shouldn't be answering phones.
Let me just say something right now. I've been in the phone industry for a really long time. And sometimes you have to catch yourself. And if you would have said something to her, I'm sure that would have made her catch herself. Because someone was like, one time said to me, am I bothering you? Are you having a bad day? And I was like, oh, shit. I'm acting like a bitch.
Yeah, no, this lady was like...
I'm acting like a straight bitch. And I was in a bad mood and I took it to the phone. And sometimes people need to hear that, hey,
Lady sounded like she was old. Like, not old, but like she was older than me. She sounded like she was like maybe in her 50s.
Okay.
Early 60s. And she just was like fed up with life. When she answered the phone, I was like, hi. I'm trying to log into my account and it's been a while. I don't know what my password is. I just want to reset it. That's all I said. What's your name? What's your address? And like the way she was just like talking to me, I was like, did I hurt your child? Like, what did I do to you or your family?
Why that you're mad at me?
Like, the way she was talking to me, I was just like, bitch don't like her job.
Bitch don't like her job.
That must be what it is, because I didn't do shit to her.
Yeah, I hear you. You didn't do nothing wrong, but
it's just like, lady, do you do you want to keep your job? Like, because I will report you.
I will report your ass. So tell me about Kari and her fucking cards.
No, yeah, her card never works. Her ATM card never fucking works. It only works at the bodega down the street from her house.
Of course, well, you know.
So she's always borrowing cash from people, telling them, I'll get you back, I'll get you back, I'll get you back.
Does she ever get them back?
Nobody on here ever says she owes me money. That's the funny thing. Nobody that we're talking to ever says that she owes them money, but they report her weird ass behavior about talking about she has cancer. She dated a dude, and after about like 6 weeks of dating, tells him that she's pregnant. She's like, I took 6 pregnancy tests.
Damn, all 6?
3 came back positive. 3 came back negative. He's like, okay, well, go to the fucking gynecologist and take
go to the doctor.
Yeah, take a test. She never mentions it again.
And she disappears, right?
No, she doesn't disappear. But she never mentions the pregnancy again.
Stupid hoe.
But then she tells him that she's got cancer.
Oh, I was pregnant. Now I have cancer.
Yeah.
It's something I'm tired of you, Kari. I cannot be your friend. You are too exhausting for me.
Yes.
Get out of my life.
Exactly. So he likes her. He likes her.
I bet you do like her, but she's tired.
But he's talking to his friends about her and they're like, dude, that sounds weird. That sounds weird, guy.
Bye, Kari.
And if she's got cancer and she's telling him she's got 3 weeks to live, if she's got cancer,
what does she want?
Don't end the relationship, just, but don't get too invested either, because you might be the only thing that she has and you like her. So don't end the relationship, but because she's going to die in 3 weeks. So, that kind of shit.
She'll be dead in 3 weeks.
But yeah, so don't get that invested. And this guy has the patience of fucking Job, because I'd be like, listen, bitch, something's going on. Like, you're fucked up somewhere in the head and you need help. Like, I could see this without Google.
I don't need Google to understand that you're a crazy bitch.
So, never mentions the pregnancy again, but now she's got cancer. Has 3 weeks to live. They go to places and she's like, I just coughed up blood. And he's like,
ew.
He goes to the hospital with her.
Ew.
He's the one that she goes to the hospital and he goes with her and they're telling her that her appendix is inflamed. He's the guy, the one that I'm talking about now. And she's like, oh, well, but they're like, but good news, there's no sign of cancer on your scans. And that's when she's like, oh, well, it shows up one day and doesn't the next.
Okay. Thumbs up.
He's telling his friends about her and they're like,
this bitch lying.
Google her name. And then they find out warrants, most wanted in Utah. He's like, oh, fuck. So he just never talks to her again. He ghosts her, basically. Doesn't say shit, just ghosts her.
And of course he had a beard, right?
Oh, yeah. She likes bearded dudes. She likes beards. She's a fucking hipster. That's what the hipster, your typical hipster is a dude in skinny jeans with a fucking beard and a stupid hat. That's a hipster. And maybe some fucking, those glasses, those round glasses. Yeah, that's a hipster. Okay, in New York. Those are your New York hipsters for sure.
San Francisco
or those weird fucked up mustaches.
Get confused for bums all the time.
They have a beard or they have those weird bicycle handle mustaches.
I've seen those.
And they think they're cool and they talk about obscure fucking music and obscure fucking literature, which is fine because you can read my book because I'm obscure. Obviously, nobody's ever heard of me as a writer, but I have books. Go read them.
Hipsters, read her books.
And
are hipsters still a thing though? Are they still getting down?
They still exist.
They're still getting jiggy with it.
They fucking own brew pubs and shit.
Oh, they have like their micro brews
and
podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey guys, love y'all.
They're millennials.
I'm a millennial.
Another one of her friends was this librarian that she made friends with was a female, and she would she'd have to borrow money. So at this time, this was before she got the job and got fired at Vice. So this was during that little interim when she had just moved between August and March.
When she was on the run from Utah.
Yeah, she just left. She wasn't actually on the run. She just left. But she was wanted. But she wasn't running from the law. She just didn't care. And so she left.
Okay.
There's a difference between I'm leaving, they want me, and I'm leaving because I don't give a shit. She just left because she didn't care.
It's the same thing, but it's the mindset that's the difference, I guess. Because that's the same shit. It's the same shit.
And she might not have known she was on the most wanted list. I don't know. I don't know what.
I don't know her life.
I'm just saying, she just left. She left fucking Utah and went to New York.
What do you think? This is the Arby's? I don't know your life. Do you know what movie that was?
It sounds like Amy Poehler.
She's like, I'd much rather be at an Arby's because it's got cooler people and better food.
Was that Baby Mama?
Yes, Baby Mama. Ding, 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 ding. Bitch, I don't know your life.
Yeah, that Amy Poehler.
This person seems absolutely exhausting. Kari. And I could not hang out with this hoe. I think I realized that a friend of mine, I'll talk about her. I think she was a grifter because I paid for so much stuff. I paid for everything. I'd pay for just because.
But look at her.
Exactly. That's exactly why I said that. Because I was like, oh, her mama, her sisters, this bitch. She didn't like me from Jump Street, but you pretended to be my friend for a couple years in college. And guess what? I helped you find your husband too. So I'm a part of your life, you dumb hoe. But I know you was a grifter. Because not once were you like, oh, I owe you X, Y, Z amount of money and you paid for this and you paid for that. And I allowed you to do this, that, and the other. I need to put this drink down. But I've come to the realization, but that's who she is.
Oh, wow.
Because how could you not want to be my friend?
Everybody loves me. The fuck?
All right.
Okay. So anyway, yes. Before she got the job at Vice, she was still saying that she was working for whatever the fuck they're called, Golden Voice. So she had made friends with this person who was a librarian, and she they would have these long conversations, and she was like, I got a job at Vice. That means I have to leave my job at Golden Voice. And oh my God, it's such a dilemma. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? So they would spend hours on the phone discussing her career opportunities.
I'm exhausted by you.
And listen, the librarian person was pissed. She was like, we spent hours on the phone talking about this and it was all make-believe. It was make-believe.
Because she didn't work for Golden Voice.
No. Golden Voice does not have a New York office. She's a fucking liar. Nobody Googled her. That was the thing. None of her friends Googled her. Like, I don't generally Google my friends and Google people that I meet. But when you start coming out your fucking face with weird ass fucking stories, I'm going to find out
Google
what the
me,
hell.
bitch.
I'm going to Google
me.
your symptoms. I'm going to Google your complaints. And I'm going to Google what the fuck you're talking about. And then I'm going to Google your name.
I'm Googling, I'm exhausted.
Hypochondriac Google.
How do you ghost a friend? That's what I'm Googling.
They would just stop talking to her. Like, automatically, they would just cut off communication.
Blocked.
So, okay. And then again, she would be borrowing money. Her ATM card didn't work. And she would really be like, oh, I'll pay it back. But again, none of these people were like, she owes me this amount of money. In these interviews, nobody said she owes me $30,000. She owes me $500 from that night we went to the club. She owes me this or that. Nobody said that, but they talked about this weird shit. So yeah, she would make up fake problems and dilemmas, and then she would spend hours on the phone with one friend who was pissed about it. That's the one, the librarian. A bunch of them told their friends, which led to the friends Googling her, and they found her wanted pictures online. Because again, she's fucking Utah's most wanted, or Salt Lake City's most wanted. And they just cut off communication with her. Most of them just stopped talking to her. And one of them, the librarian, was like, don't ever contact me again.
Lose my number.
Yeah, I like texted her or emailed her, like, don't ever contact me again.
Could you please lose my number, please?
So this story was from observer.com. It came out in April of 2009.
This article?
Yeah. It blew the fuck up.
Okay.
People were pointing her out on the street. They had pictures of her, in the article, like who she was. People were like, hipster grifter, hipster grifter, hipster grifter, hipster grifter. Like people were like, it's the hipster grifter. Take a picture with me. Like she like blew the fuck up. She became an internet fucking sensation. It was weird.
She went viral.
She did. It was weird. Okay. It was fucking weird. And this website that I also found called Animal New York, which is now defunct, also got onto the story, and they kept like every day they were running stories about her. Oh, she was sighted. She was sighted. We see her. There she is. Oh, here's what she has to say. She was like a media fucking sensation. It's weird. We didn't know about it because we didn't live in New York, number one. And number two, I was busy trying to get a fucking degree, so I didn't have time for this shit. And number three, we're in California. We don't give a shit about New Yorkers. Sorry. So that basically is what happened. So in May, this story had blown the fuck up. And she said it started getting out of control. And she decided she needed to go back and make some things right. So she returned to Utah from New York. She actually went to Philadelphia and turned herself into the Philadelphia Police Department because she didn't want to do it in New York. And New York had issued an extradition order. So she went from Philadelphia back to Utah. And she was 22 when she pleaded guilty in August of 2009 to third-degree felony forgery, 2 misdemeanor accounts of issuing a bad check or a draft, and 1 misdemeanor account of attempted forgery, attempted identity theft, and attempted issuing of a bad check. So she went to jail.
Jail time.
She didn't go to prison. She went to jail in Utah. And she was sentenced to 9 months. But she had served
9 months.
Yeah, 9 months. But she had already served 132 days because between the time that she was awaiting trial, between the time that she turned herself in and was awaiting a date and all that shit, she had served 132 days. So she literally only served like 6-ish months, like maybe 5.5 months.
I think like when they get judgments of like such, I think that's very lenient.
Well, it's Utah.
I should go run some game in Utah then, huh? Not me.
You're not Korean.
You're black.
Yeah.
So do we know what the reason, like, we're like...
I'm not done.
Okay.
So yeah, she got credit for the 132 days that she had already served behind bars. So literally that 9 months was like 5.5-ish months 90 days is 6 months.
No, 90 days is 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. My bad. There's my math.
That's mimosa math.
That's my math. Well, that's my math, period. But anyway. So, and she was also ordered to pay $1,000 fine and $4,194 in restitution. Served 6-ish months in sentence. And before she left New York, though, she decided to do some nudie pics posts.
Ooh, yeah.
Posted a bunch of nude pictures that are very, very easy to find online.
On MySpace?
No, they're not on MySpace. There's a link. It'll be on the blog.
Ooh, read the blog,
link,
guys.
Well, the link, it goes to another website. It goes to that Animal New York website, and then you can find the link to the nudie pics from there because she managed to get a job at Animal New York while she was in jail. Let's get to that.
What?
Yes. Okay. So while she was in jail, like I told you, New York, Animal New York is based in New York. They talk about New York pop culture, New York, fucking the scenes in New York.
She has a virtual job in jail.
People are loving her and they're talking about her. And Animal New York is talking about her every day. They're talking about her before she turns herself in. They're the ones that are posting like, oh, she was spotted here. She was spotted there, taking selfies with her. They're the ones that were like running fucking stories. And their stories are literally one like 3-sentence paragraph and a photo. That's it.
Her running her own
and other people. Campaign. Yeah, other people. Or like people sending in pictures. But she's also in communication with them. So yeah, she's making friends with the people at Animal New York.
Okay.
They are following her. They follow her from the point of like this story that came out in Observer to her turning herself in, everything. She fucking even called them from the Philadelphia police station where she turned herself in. Like they've got everything. They've got the exclusive on her. So she's in contact with them. They're in correspondence. She calls them. She writes them from jail. She writes Gawker from jail. She writes fucking the Daily Beast from jail, doing interviews. So their correspondence turns into interviews. So
I used to work for the company that owned the Daily Beast.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. IAC.
I posted the link to the Animal New York page where you can go to find and there are nude pictures.
Oh shit.
Topless, her booty out, her kuka out, everything is out. She's nude. There's like, I'd say 25 to 30 pictures.
She was just like, why not? Let's get this money.
Uh-huh. So while she was in jail, also, she got a hold of a cell phone and she started tweeting. One of the tweets says, ladies, step 1, be Asian. Step 2, find a white guy and make him do a bunch of crazy shit for you.
Oh my God.
Step 3, rinse and repeat. That's her method to basically grift on white dudes. And another one, she says, the one thing I've learned is how gullible white guys are.
Wow.
There's another post that says, hey, assholes, send me money, especially you, white guy with an Asian fetish. So obviously she has a type. White dudes that like Asian girls. Okay, so physically, she's not that cute. Like, she's cute-ish. She's like the girl on Knocked Up, the little Asian girl that's with Mike Starr.
Yeah, the weird one.
Weird.
Like she's like, oh, your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gives me those kind of vibes. Like, you're not that cute, but there might be something cute about you to people who like Asian girls.
Got it.
That kind of thing. Like, you're not like Lucy Liu. You're like the Asian girl next door that might be cute if you put on some makeup and like did something with yourself.
If you hooked yourself up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, she's not butt ugly, but there would be nothing that I would find physically attractive about her if I was like seeking an Asian woman.
Personally yourself. That's how you feel. Yes. Okay.
But again, there are different types for everybody or whatever.
Rinse and repeat.
Exactly. And she seems like the type of girl that a hipster dude would like be attracted to, that would go out with, because she's like one of those like, I'm this type of girl and I've got tattoos and I'm edgy and I'll say I'll fuck you like within the first paragraph of us talking. That kind of shit. So one of her tweets was like, Asian woman, submissive, model, minority, something like just some like basically she was trying to play into that stereotype to get money out of guys or attention or whatever. This chick, like basically she was being manipulative. She was manipulating these dudes into getting her stuff because again, Asian women aren't often the type that be like, hey, I want to suck your dick.
Right?
Like right out of the gate. But that's what she was doing.
She was bringing the fantasy like to them 100-fold.
Right.
Just like, hey, I'm into Asian chicks and I've never been around one, or whatever. You know how people say shit like that, but
yeah, I've never been with an Asian girl.
I've never been with a black girl before. I love black girls.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, but it's the same thing. And
that's the type that like literally I want to elbow you in the fucking nose.
Dude, it happens all the time. But for your fantasy or someone that you're very attracted to be like, hey, I want to suck your dick.
Yeah, that's what she would do. Like she would go to bars.
What are you going to say?
And target white dudes
cream
with
your
beard.
shorts. And you're going to say,
and you're like, I'm all over this. That's exactly what they would do.
Yeah, I'm about it.
And that's how she got away with a bunch of shit that she did.
Yep.
Because Becky probably might not have been able to get away with as much as she did.
Becky would have had to work a different crowd.
Exactly. And so would freaking Monish, whatever the hell what are we calling ourselves? I'm not using the LaQuisha name. So
look at Sansheré would have had to do something else. Okay, you know what I mean. So it's all about the circles you decide to network with.
True,
but that's fucked up. That she was just like, okay, I'm going to play into this stereotype and I'm going to make money because what I'm thinking is.
That's
when she was
did.
Casey Jones.
She used it to her advantage.
Casey, whoever she was running checks for, I'm sure she was doing that to other dudes too, having them fucking cash checks for her. I'm sure she had a bunch of dudes like in the DMs or on the line or whatever who she was running game on.
Well, no, they were in a relationship living together.
I understand that, but I'm saying I don't doubt that she might have had some other people that she was getting money from because all of a sudden she has a windfall of money. Is it the check money?
It was the bad checks she was writing. She was writing checks off of an old bank account.
Yeah.
But we're not done. Okay, so she did interviews while she was in jail with Gothamist and with Daily Beast. So Daily Beast asked her, and I only selected one question and one answer. So there's a whole thing. It's linked. I will put it in there. You can read the whole interview if you like. Gothamist asked her, what were you thinking when you first started grifting?
Oh, okay.
She said, when I initially started scamming people, I convinced myself that by the time the checks bounced, I would have the proper amount of Skrilla. This is her word.
Skrilla.
She uses this word in multiple interviews and on multiple websites where she has written. I would have the proper amount of Skrilla to pay them back. Or if nothing else, I could trade sexual favors for more time. And that's what they said in the interviews, they were like, yeah, she'd always say that she could get us into these places, but then we would never, she'd always say we were on a list and then we would go and we wouldn't be on the list, but somehow we still got in.
Because she was sucking dick to get in clubs.
She might have been. She's the type of chick that thinks that she can just show her boobs and that'll get her in places.
Yeah.
And she says that. She's like, sometimes showing your boobs wouldn't be the thing and it would be more like you buy me a bag of weed. Like she had to figure out what was the currency that the person that she was trying to target wanted. Did they want weed or did they want to see her boobs? That was like her thing. Her bargaining chip wasn't, I'll pay you. It was, I'll suck your dick. I'll show you my boobs or I'll buy you a bag of weed.
That was her current. That was
yeah.
Like, you know how some men think, oh, since women have vaginas, it's a bank account. Like they could just go and just, But
a gay man doesn't want to see your boobs.
Sure don't, honey.
And he doesn't want to bang you.
And he don't want that cat. So put it away.
So, yeah. So she said, when the time came around, I never had the money and would dole out excuse after excuse to save face. Eventually, all my lies caught up with me and everyone knows what happened after that. Then the Daily Beast asked, what do you think would be different about you once you get out? Because again, she's in jail when she's doing this interview. She said, I'll be much more humble. I will not take people or things for granted. I will obviously not partake in any illegal activities besides, consuming organic produce, which means smoking weed. I will look at freedom and time in a whole new light. I hope to show people how truly sorry I am for the terrible mistakes I've made. And so from January 25th, 2010 to October 29th, 2019, she had a column I'm sorry, not 2019, 2010. For 10 months.
Okay.
I don't know why, how, I guess I...
Because I was like, damn, 9 years?
No.
What? 9 months.
For 9 months, she had a column for that website, Animal New York.
Okay.
Basically, it was a daily column, or like sometimes she would, like, I guess, you know, take weekends off or whatever, but it was supposed to be a daily column where she basically just talked about, like, current events or herself, posted boob pictures,
of course,
and wrote things like, there was one article that I found interesting, which was about Dr. Laura Schlesinger saying the N-word. Again, this was back in, 2010. But it's basically about, pics of her boobs and current events and her just talking about herself. In her final post on it, she says that she's ending the column because her writing sucks and that she probably should take a few writing classes. It's true. Because it's a very, very short column. Like, each entry is very, very short. And it, like, just recaps, like, things, events, stuff, She tried to be an interviewer for Gawker, where there was, like, a YouTube video of her interviewing DJ Mayonnaise. I'm like, oh, there's a DJ Mayonnaise and a DJ Mustard. That's interesting.
DJ Mustard.
She has also created a new Twitter, because the Twitter that she was posting all that stuff from jail on is 26 posts, and they're all from 2009. And the new Twitter handle is Hot Dog Hand Jobs, but it's private, and I have no desire to follow it.
Ew.
Hot Dog Hand Jobs. That's what it's called. I'm not following her, so I don't know if it's still active or what. So if you feel like following her, go to Twitter.
I see her right now. It's private. And
Hot Dog Hand Jobs.
Oh, yeah. She has a picture of Sookie.
It's a picture of Snooki with a Snooki doll.
Procrastination enthusiast. Created in 2010.
Right.
She doesn't have very many followers. We have more followers than she does. So... we'll just leave that right there.
Right. She got married on July 30th, 2011. And I learned this because her name is now Kari Enzer. And I did a little more fucking Googling, and I found her Amazon wedding registry on Google.
Creep.
And you can find it on Google if you'd like.
Well,
and
it's from 9 years ago.
Her husband, but it's still up there.
Okay.
Like, it shows like what they fucking registered for.
Okay.
Her husband is a bearded hipster called Elliot Enzer. There's a photo of them at an event at the Standard in East Village on March 27th, 2014.
Okay.
So you can find that on Google as well.
Okay.
She's also grown out her hair because she had a short pixie cut. And it, like, sometimes she looked like a boy.
Okay.
And with her haircut, like, it would grow out. She would get a cut. Yeah. So there's different incarnations of her hairstyle at the time, but it was a pixie cut. The whole time she was doing her grift, and all the photos, they're all of this pixie cut.
Okay.
In various stages of growth.
Okay.
On the blog, it'll be the photo from her last post on Animal New York, which is a short bob, a very short bob, like a chin or maybe even like lip length bob. So she's also grown her hair out because that's at least shoulder length now. And I don't know if they're still married, because that 2014 picture is the latest picture I could find of them. And as recently as January 2018, she was up to her old tricks.
Oh, God.
She composed a letter trying to get a gas pass credentials into New York Fashion Week, saying that she would be covering the event with one photographer or videographer, and that they wanted to talk to who's who and in the old and the new, and what's good now, and blah 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 blah. That was 2 years ago, and that actually is on Twitter from the editor of Refinery 29.
Ooh, Refinery 29 is pretty legit.
Yeah,
it sounds like to me like she just wants to be around those people.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
because now today, before we started, I did a little more Googling, and she is currently or was recently a volunteer at the Planetary Society. They're the outreach coordinators at the Planetary Society in New York, and Bill Nye is a CEO of this company.
Oh, this is her on the side. I mean, she's cute. She looks
better with longer hair than short hair.
Yeah.
But I'll show you the picture that is going to go on this is her. These are all the pictures of her.
Oh, yeah, she's basic. I mean, she's cute, but she's basic.
She's not like, oh,
she's basic.
the world, like the heads turn when she walks into a room.
No,
she's
not at all.
She's not, she's cute-ish when she does.
She's not standout-ish, but if like someone would like, how it takes a minute for people to pay attention to you.
Like she grabs attention. That's what she does. She, instead of waiting for people to pay attention to her, she walks into the room and she's like, hey, you, I want to suck your dick.
Exactly.
And then people are like, oh.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, so she's not like standout-ish. She's basic again. And then when she's like, hey, Brandi, you want me to suck your dick? And you're like, wait a minute, what?
No, thank you.
And then
no, thank you.
You actually
no, thank you.
You actually
no, thank you.
Open your eyes. Look at me. Look into my eyes.
Look. No, thank you. No, thank you.
It's like, hey, someone who's willing to fellatio,
elite.
Look at her and was like, hey, she's actually an attractive person. Okay, let's get it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you said, she grabs the attention and
she basically snatches it. It's not like she doesn't go in and wait for you to say, hey, hi. She goes in and she's like, I'm going to grab your ass. I'm going to grab your wiener and you're going to pay attention to me.
Wow.
So that is the story of the hipster grifter, Kari Ferrell, who is now known as Kari Enzer. Meh.
New start. Google Kari Enzer from now on. She's up to some shit. Yeah. That was interesting. Yeah, she's bonkers. Brandi, thumbs up for the week?
Okay, so my thumbs up for the week. I did not do all of my my NaNoWriMo rewards for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't do all of them. So what I did was I decided to buy an Erin Condren on-the-go folio planning system. And actually, I buy myself a planner every year.
Oh, yeah. I want to get you a journal for Christmas.
Oh, well, see, you should have told me that because okay, hold on. So
it's Christmas season, you shouldn't be buying yourself anything.
Well, because I was like, I'm going to get this and I'm going to get this. But I do have one on my Amazon. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
It's an Erin Condren. Okay, first of all, Erin Condren, her shit, like, to me is super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't want to get this when I can get the Happy Planner.
Yeah.
Like, I love the Happy Planner. The Happy Planner is my go-to. But I was like, oh, this one fits my needs because it fits 4 different mini planners, these little folio planners. They're like, they call them a Midori notebook or a Midori journal, which you can slide like 4 or 5 different little notebooks into a holder, like a leather folio.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, use it for like your notes. And they're usually called travel notebooks because you can do notes, you can do drawings, you can do, whatever. And they're like easy to carry. So I did the Erin Condren on the go folio one, which mimics the travel journal in the way that you slide these little inserts in.
Is Erin spelled E-R-I-N?
Uh-huh.
What's the last name?
Condren. So I bought myself one, the on the go folio, and it probably won't be here until next week. But I don't use just one journal. I don't. So like, again, I could also use another one. So I bought one for myself, and like but it was Cyber Monday, and so
I bought a bunch of shit. Like,
yeah,
I've still been buying stuff. I need to stop, but I'm super excited about it. But anyway, keep moving forward.
Well, it was Cyber Monday, so I got like a huge discount.
Okay,
because normally I wouldn't buy Erin Condren stuff.
Okay,
because I just think her stuff is way too.
How do you spell Condren?
Condren.
Oh my god, I spelled it Conderun. So you
Condren. Okay, it's Condren. Dren.
Dren.
So I bought myself one of her on the go folios.
Condren.
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 Dren.
Got it. That looks better.
Yeah, so I bought one of those, and so I'm excited to use it because I haven't used her stuff before. Exciting. Usually, like they have the spiral bound stuff, and you can get the spiral bound notebooks from her in like Michael's, but I usually don't buy her stuff just because it doesn't suit my needs usually, and I've never really been willing to be like, I want to change.
I'm not really open to change.
I want to change the way, because I mean they're pretty, they're really pretty, they look really useful. I just haven't wanted to.
Okay,
that's basically it. So I got the on the go folio system just because I figure once I'm done with this year and those inserts, I can buy inserts for whatever I want or make inserts, which will be fun. And so that's my thumbs up. Also, I did buy myself a traveler's journal, but I also there's another one that I actually wanted. I bought myself the one that was less expensive.
Treat yourself, sister. Treat yourself.
And then I was like, I could probably get it for a Christmas gift if somebody wanted to know what I wanted for Christmas. So I didn't buy it.
And here we are.
So that's my thumbs up.
And here we are.
What's your thumbs up?
My thumbs up is Beauty's Biscuits is growing. And when I met with my personal coach, she's like, evaluate your business, see what you were doing last year compared to this year. Last December, I didn't have any sales whatsoever, none.
Last December 2019.
Uh-huh. This December, I'm already ahead of the game, and I've got some sales, and I've got more coming up. Because
it's only what, the 5th? What's today?
Today is the 6th, and when
so
this episode comes out is the 8th. And I've got subscriptions, so I've got customers that continuously come back. And that was a goal of mine to do in February of 2020 to have a subscription service for my business. So I'm really glad that we're evolving. So I'm unfolding collars. I've partnered up with a US-based distributor and creator of like fancy dog collars. I got like some blingy dog collars.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I'm going to be offering their products on my website.
I saw those ones on Instagram.
Yeah. So that's super exciting. I ordered a bunch of shit. I ordered a bunch of stuff. So I got to catalog it and get it on the website some shape, way, or form. So that's going to be labor intensive. But if you want to grow like in your business or personally or like side hustly or whatever you want to do, you definitely have to do the research, invest the money, invest the time, and it will pay for itself. Because like last year, November 2019, I sold $23 worth of products.
November
of last year.
Okay.
And then I looked at this year and I've grown like 1,000%.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, that's cool.
So and it's like it's difficult and it's hard to when people are like, hey, you've got this store and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're making money and it's amazing. But it's like I'm not an overnight success story. It's been building for 7 years, 8 years, Beauty's Biscuits. And yeah, Jamal's here. And now we're at the point that we are in, and I'm really excited. And I want to focus. I want to put my fucking head down, and I want to grind. Kendall had the audacity to say to me, my daughter, I want to take over your business. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You crazy.
She hasn't even learned how to freaking like actually do what she needs to do to get shit done.
Nope.
So that's the problem.
That's what we're dealing with. Like it's a struggle. 2020 is real, but soon it's going to be over. But I mean, that's what it is, y'all. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for being here. Again, subscribe, leave a review if you'd like to. We would really appreciate that. And connect with us on social. Connect with us on Twitter at Book of Lies Pod, Instagram and Facebook at Book of Lies Podcast. Check out our blog at bookofliespodcast.com and come on back, please. We love you so much. And I'm Sunni Hepburn.
And I'm Brandi.
And this was Book of Lies. The podcast.
It's BOLP, bitches.
Beep, 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 beep.